Hey everybody, Sean here with my friend Jordan, of course. We're here in the lair, and it's X-Men time again. That's
joy.
right. This is what the fifth X-Men movie we started talking about this time, and this time we're going back to the beginning, just like we did with X-Men Origins Wolverine, although in a better film, and
Pointless film.
and an okay film overall. This is the first time I think I've sat through the entire movie, because I had seen parts of it before, but when this thing was coming out, I just kind of had no real interest in it, because I had seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, and, you know, we talked about that movie. It wasn't very good. It had a few moments of bits I liked, but, like, overall, it wasn't a great movie by any stretch of the means, and then X3 was kind of messy in some things. It had some good action.
One of the worst movies ever.
It had some good actions. I didn't hate it like this guy does, but...
Fucking terrible film. We'll get into this, but this is what X3 should have incorporated into their movie.
Right.
But hence why this movie should not exist,
But this time around, we're going the prequel route, so it's all new actors playing the X-Men at this point, with the exception of one in probably one of the greatest cameos of all time. Hugh Jackman, of course, has to appear in this as Wolverine, because he appears in every X-Men movie, I think, up until, was like Dark Phoenix or something like that. He doesn't appear in. But, yeah, so he shows up in this thing.
Is he in Apocalypse?
He is in Apocalypse, if I remember. I think, because they have that one scene where, like, they go, like, was it back in time, and like he breaks out and goes berserk. So I think he does make like one appearance in Apocalypse, because he's Hugh Jackman. He has to appear in all these movies. He has one great cameo in here, in the scene with the young Michael Fassbender playing Magneto, and the young Charles Xavier played by James McAvoy, who both do really good jobs in here. I think their best work is still in the next movie, Days of Future Past, at least in terms of the ones that they've been in. I mean, obviously the next movie is going to be The Wolverine, which is a movie I haven't seen before, so it'll be interesting. Have you seen The Wolverine?
No.
Okay, so we're about to watch that one next.
New
when we get
old
to it.
movie.
But yeah, a new old movie. But this one, I think my biggest problem with this movie, I think it just drags on for way too long. And it ultimately, in terms of the series, doesn't amount to all that much, as you were saying. It's kind of a more kind of pointless movie. It's well crafted.
Never really expanded upon or anything.
It's well crafted in a lot of ways, and there are some genuinely good scenes in it, particularly with Fassbender as Magneto, and James McAvoy is a good version of young Charles Xavier. Then we also had like Kevin Bacon as the villain. I thought he was pretty solid as Sebastian Shaw, right?
Yep.
Who has like abilities to kind of like take energy and stuff from
he's
people.
basically like Gambit, but not as cool.
Right, so you got him in there. You had Emma Frost. You had Beast, played by Nicholas Hoult. Jennifer Lawrence is her first appearance as Mystique.
Joy.
Oh boy, yes. I mean, she's fine in this one. It's after this where she stops giving a shit.
I mean,
because this is like
bad.
She's okay in this one. She's fine in this one. But then she like got Hunger Games fame, so she stopped caring after I think Days of Future Past, because like that's Days of Future Past. They kind of wrote her more in a bigger role, because Jennifer Lawrence was a bigger actress at the time. Yeah. Whereas Mystique in the other movies, they didn't really dive much into her character. She just kind of had like
Mystique is a big X-Men character too.
Right. Like she had kind of a mysterious presence, and I still prefer Rebecca Romijn over Jennifer Lawrence, because like just her on-screen presence and like body language and all that. I thought Rebecca just did a tremendous job in the other movies. Lawrence is okay in this one. I think she's fine this time around, just trying to like find her identity. Of course, this gave us the iconic meme, "I prefer the real Raven, perfection." Yes, classic meme. Rose Byrne's in it too. Oliver Platt's in this thing as well. There is some Stryker references, so I know you got excited over that, because you just love Stryker.
I mean, they just drag him out every movie pretty much.
Right, yeah, because like it's a different actor every single time too, which makes it like even funnier. So
there's a pretty big universe of characters, and they do such a poor job with their villains consistently, except for an X2 and I guess X1, but...
Yeah, I mean, well, Magneto is still good. Like, Michael Fassbender, I think, is a pretty good Magneto. We get more into his backstory, and there is definitely an emotional, like, weight to a lot of the scenes with him in it, and you get to see them kind of, like, tapping into their powers. A lot of it is kind of generic by today's standards and cheesy. I'll say this, though. The suits actually have some color to it. They actually brought in the yellow, which I appreciated, because I don't like the suits that they wear in the trilogy. I think they just look like shit. The leather suits. I thought they could have added a little bit more color. And here it looks a little bit better.
They definitely tried to keep this pretty true to the comic, right? Because this
in a lot of ways
set in '62, which is when X-Men came out, I think around '62.
Right, so there's still, like, the mutants aren't very well known amongst the world.
And the costume design's pretty true. Like Emma Frost's costume, which is comedically impractical, of course, but what she actually wears in the comics. So I guess if you like that kind of thing, this movie does a good job with that.
And she looks very good, too, so I will say that. I mean, there's a lot of eye candy in the movie in terms of the actresses.
They do a good job with that. Like Mora, the lingerie scene, completely unneeded, but, it looked good. So.
It's fan service, so...
Yeah, it's good fan service.
Right, I mean, they have those scenes in the movies for people, like, I mean, look at how many movies nowadays where they have, like, the shirtless guys walking around. Yeah. That's clearly some fan service in a lot of ways.
This is a good kind of fan service. The kind I like.
Right, you sick pervert.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. It wasn't needed, but I'm not complaining.
Right. Yeah, it's totally.
We'll get into the complaints later. There's a lot.
It's totally terrible. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So the plot this time around, like I said, this is the origins of the X-Men. Aside from Wolverine, which I don't know, does this even like match up continuity wise?
Who fucking knows?
I think I heard
both these things 800 times, anyways.
Yeah, I think with this one, like a lot of things don't exactly 100% line up because I think this was originally intended to be kind of a reboot, but then they kind of made it a straight up prequel per se.
Then they never expanded upon it really anyways.
Yeah, because that ending of X-Men 3 they never really expanded upon either too. With all that, it
gets rebooted in Days of Future Past, so
to fix the timeline and change things in the future and all that. I don't know.
You need a PhD to understand these movies.
Yeah, the timeline was clean for the first 3 X-Men movies, and then Origins comes in. But then again, we got to remember in Deadpool 2, Deadpool fixes the timeline by going back in time because he's like, this timeline's a mess. Like, are you Xavier or are you McAvoy or Stewart? Like, with these continuous timeline changes, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of happened.
Oh, and it's probably gonna get worse once they link the MCU into these things. So.
Oh, because we got the multiverse and all that now.
Have fun with that.
I'm trying to think of what else to say. I like the 60s look to it all. I thought that added a nice, unique vibe to it. This one's directed by Matthew Vaughn, who also went on to make he made Kick-Ass, which I think is a pretty good movie. And then he made the Kingsman movies, which I have never actually seen.
Well, I mean, this is the fundamental problem with this movie and X3, right? Finally, we see the Hellfire Club and Sebastian Shaw. Who was the Hellfire Club and Sebastian Shaw created for? Oh, the Dark Phoenix saga. Who was mysteriously not in that movie? Sebastian Shaw and the Hellfire Club. Instead, we got Magneto in the Cure storyline. So this movie already, right? It's dug itself into a hole because these characters shouldn't be here. They should have been in X3. And chances are, if they had been in X3 and they made the movie right in the first place, then First Class probably would not even have been in existence, right? Because they clearly built story at the end of X3, which will never be expanded upon, which this movie series has a common reoccurring theme of doing. See Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse. See this movie. I mean, what happens with them? I mean, we see Angel with, you never see her again. The demon guy, you never see him again. Shaw's just dead, so who knows what happens to the Hellfire Club? I don't think they're in Days of Future Past, are they?
I have not seen Days of Future Past since 2014.
Yeah, I don't remember. Even if they are, they don't play a very significant part in it.
Ultimately, this movie kind of just was kind of meant to maybe restart things with the younger cast, but with the continuity trying to matching up, it kind of kills the suspense because we're doing a prequel thing. Until Days of Future Past, I remember genuinely liking Days of Future Past the last time I saw it several years ago, because that was a good blending of the old and the new cast to kind of craft a story that can change things as he's going back in time and changing things. So it was a good way to kind of bring everyone in together in an interesting way. And then after that, it was we don't need any more. Yeah. So, I mean, I think Days of Future Past was a good wrap-up of the X-Men series, and then Logan afterwards. But then they made Apocalypse, which now that we'll get to that when we get to that.
That being said, it's not a terrible movie.
No, it's not terrible. It's well made.
But
the craft on display is pretty good. There's some hokiness for sure that kind of takes away from the deadpan serious moments that they kind of have in it. They tried to be a little bit.
What's
more
your code name?
Magneto.
I'm gonna call you Professor X. Yeah, that was.
I'm gonna call you Magneto. Where the fuck did you get these names from?
That was bad. They did kill one of the characters too, which was pretty exciting. Poor Darwin. They just.
Yeah,
you know.
I would have reacted if I actually knew or cared about who Darwin was. He has like one scene in the movie.
Yeah,
like,
but it was exciting. It
was a creative kill. Like even like the kill at the end of the movie with Magneto and Sebastian was pretty cool with the coin. How it ties back to his origin. They were just following orders. Ooh, you shouldn't have said that.
Poor choice of words.
Like I like Fassbender a lot, and I like McAvoy. I think they're the two standouts for sure. Beast is okay. Kelsey Grammer is still just pitch perfect for that part. But Nicholas Hoult does an all right job as like this younger, kind of awkward, dorky Beast. I mean, he's a younger version of it. And then Lawrence is fine in this one. Kevin Bacon's a pretty decent villain. I liked Emma Frost. The cast is pretty good. I just think the movie itself is just okay. It drags on a lot, and it gets kind of boring for a while. It's just kind of doing the same generic, superhero training montage bits, but it's not really all that fun or exciting. There's a few inventive action scene kind of moments.
Yeah, they picked a weak cast of X-Men characters, I feel like, in general. I don't know why, like, Cyclops wasn't used, and we didn't have...
They used his brother.
Yeah, but nobody cares about Havoc. I mean, come on. Havoc? Freaking Havoc, Sean?
I don't
know. I mean, the timeline is probably what they were trying to consider, and there's no Jean Grey, or there's no... Well, Wolverine, isn't it, for...
Wolverine has the best scene in the whole movie, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, well, that's true. No Storm. So, I mean, a lot of the really good X-Men are not here. You know, we get Beast, who is fine, and... you know, he's like a B-level X-Men. You know, that's not a knock on him. Not everyone can be Gambit or Wolverine. So yeah, Gambit, you know, mysteriously not in this movie either.
But don't worry, we had him in your favorite Origins movie.
Yeah, you know, the character everyone wanted. He's got 7 minutes of screen time in this film. Who else is Havoc? I guess Mystique was one. You know, it's a weak X-Men cast, I think, and it hurts this film a lot. Yeah, it just, at the end of the day, this is not an all that memorable movie per se. It just doesn't like have a big lasting impact. There's moments that work, but I think for the most part it's just all right. Like, it's not a bad movie, and it's not a really great movie either. I think it's just the pure definition of it's okay. It's got some moments that work, but other than that, I'm just gonna kind of like, I'll remember some bits. Like, I'll remember the coin kill at the end of it, and I remember some of the lines, but the Wolverine cameo I'm not going to forget, because that's called back to in the sequel to this one, and it's a pretty funny callback. But it just didn't work for me overall. I think it just really drags on, and at the end of the day, it's like one of our reviews, right? Or like The Last Jedi, you know, just never-ending sadness from that movie. I want to go one video without referencing it. Just want that, it ain't gonna happen. We plan these out in far in advance. God, just enough already. Enough. No, the world must know about how horrible this movie is. Right. It's just because they haven't figured it out yet. Right. Apparently, because people have not shut up talking about that movie for years. It just won't go away. Yeah. So you know, it's just dragging on to sadness for sure. Yeah. I don't have much else to say about this one. In short, I wish I wasn't reviewing this movie. And why do I wish I was not reviewing this movie? Because Sebastian Shaw should have been controlling Dark Phoenix like the Hellfire Club was intended to, and trying to use her for world domination, for it to blow up horribly in their face. That sounds way better than and then maybe, you know, you work Sebastian Shaw in later, because this is, you know, even though this isn't the plot line I wanted him to do, it is something that would be in his character, right? You know, getting America and Russia to start a war. You know, he is a creative guy. He's not really dumb. You know, the movie's villains are usually not stupid in these things, except for X3. They're pretty dumb in that. Right, the humans are smarter than the mutants for sure. Yeah, and I mean, they just, you know, get owned as usual. So yeah, I would really, truthfully, I wish I wasn't reviewing it, but you know, they screwed that up. So this is trying to redeem it, I guess. This is do a good job. Not really. You know. We see a lot of this going forward. Not really. I mean, you could watch Days of Future Past without seeing this, I think, and be fine. Unless you really want to see Kevin Bacon get killed. Yeah, I mean, Bacon's cool.
cool.
You want to see, Xavier get paralyzed, and I think they changed the paralyzed story in Logan anyways. So, who knows?
At the end of the day, this movie just feels kind of like filler.
Yeah, it's like
it's a filler movie that didn't really need to exist.
It's like a 4.7, I think, maybe
4.7 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's better than X3 in terms of it. But X3 is kind of more
kind of boring.
But X3 is at least paced better and has more fun moments. I think with Beast in that.
X3 is so fucking bad, Sean.
But X3 is more bad. X3 is more of a mess. But I'd almost rather it's more entertaining.
There's nothing in X3 more entertaining.
Beast.
No, it
Beast.
sucks.
Wolverine and Beast in that movie.
That movie makes my blood boil, Sean. I feel my blood pressure. I don't feel my blood pressure rising when I watch this movie. So that alone makes this a superior. And the story actually makes sense in this movie. X3, the thing I always point out is the story doesn't make sense in it. It doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, this one just at the end of the day, it just feels
At least Shaw has a plan, and it's pretty good, to be honest. If he just wants to start nuclear war and then be the most powerful person in the world, he has a lot of money. So, I mean, it works. Is he a madman? Yeah. Is it going to be successful? Who knows? But then he gets he does get a cool death. But, Xavier kind of bottles it, too, because he didn't want him to die, but he still froze him. So why not just unfreeze him? Because, in theory, Shaw, if he was not in Xavier's trance, could have just absorbed the coin. So,
yeah, there's just a lot of
Xavier is directly responsible for Shaw getting killed, I guess. So.
Yeah, it's got its issues. I just feel while watching it. It's just okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
4.7 is okay score.
It's like a 5.5 out of 10. That's about as good as I can get. It's not something I really plan to go back and rewatch, like some other X-Men movies. I think it's just a pure definition of okay. At least the suits have more color, so okay with that. I don't have much else to say. Like and subscribe.
Last Jedi sucks.
This one's just okay.
There's better X-Men movies than this. Just go right to Days of Future Past, I think, if you're going to rewatch these things.
So that's where we're going to kind of leave it off. Sorry I don't have as much to say. That's just how little this
movie...
we
had 17 minutes of time. That's pretty good.
Right. I feel like I don't have much to say about this one. But luckily you're here to kind of make up for that.
Well, because I've read these books. I mean, I know how these things played out. And it's two movies that should have been combined or reworked into one. Clearly, they want more McTaggart in the movies because they put her in the end credits of X3, so she shows up here now.
Whatever.
I don't get it.
Next time we're going to talk about the Wolverine, which I've never seen. And
I hear it's pretty good.
So that should be interesting. Wolverine's back in the starring role because...
Thank God, because they needed him.
This is actually the first one without Wolverine in the lead role, but he does have the best part of the movie.
Yeah, and clearly you can tell these movies are lacking when he's not in it.
Right. I mean,
because the thing we've talked about probably the most, besides my dislike of the villains being used, is Wolverine and his brilliant 3-word line. And we'll tell the viewers this before we go fuck yourself.
And that's how we're going to end the video with Wolverine's final 3 words. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. The best line, the best part of the entire movie. But don't really. No.
It was for demonstration purposes.
Purposes only.
Kids, don't repeat that.
Yeah, kids, don't say go fuck yourself out loud. Don't go up to somebody and say, sorry, I didn't mean to say go fuck yourself. So this video has been demonetized unless YouTube doesn't.
Oh, yeah, we make all these monetized dollars on this.
Perhaps. All right, we've rambled on long enough. The Wolverine is next.
I was born a rambling man.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.